perfil de Instagram, haga clic en seguir. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros livestream o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible. Hello.
Becomes paid up, but also we gotta live on the today. We have to live on the today. Why am I saying this? Because the cost of living goes up every year. As I've told people, hey, it used to be 30 years ago, people said, Mr. Rubio, well, I've got $5,000. That's enough to bury me. Well, yeah, that was 30 years ago. Right now, a funeral, just the funeral alone, when you go very economical, I mean, you're looking at $7,500. And that's not even counting going to the cemetery. And now that's another $6,000 to $8,000. So nowadays, I have to tell the people, look, honestly, a complete traditional funeral, you're looking at anywhere from $12,500 to $15,000 in our area here in the Valley. Let's say for those clients that I have, like in Houston, Austin, San Antonio, It's a lot more. I mean, over there you're looking at anywhere 17,500 to $20,000 because life is more expensive over there. The cost of living is more expensive. So you have to keep up to date with the times. And this also
Mhm.
includes life insurance, you know. As I was mentioning, I got a call from one of my clients and they said, "Mr. Rubio, we need you to come by because our we got a letter from the company saying that our policies have to be converted or else the policy is going to go up in a major way." I said, "Yes, that's no problem." I went to the client's house yesterday. I sat down with him, and of course, you know, thank you for everyone that calls and tells me, "Hey, call me." I went by there,
Mhm.
I took out their policies, and of course, I personally have my own information on the client. I brought it with me and I said, "Okay, let's do the policy review." And let me just remind you, this is what you had originally. You purchased $100,000. You were 59 years old. You're paying $60 on this policy. 10 years have passed. And I asked him, when the original agent sold you this policy, did he not tell you that this was a 10-year term? He said, "No, Mr. Rubio, he told me that this was just a life insurance policy." Well, yeah, but they needed to be more specific. And plus, you know, I told them, you know what, every year, if you're my client, you get a letter from my companies telling you my name and my address, and of course, an invitation for you to call me so we can do the policy review to verify and refresh your memory. You know, that's something we all need to refresh our memories. And of course, now I tell them,
Yeah.
look, 10 years have passed. Your policy is going to go up $220 more a month for the same $100,000. We don't need to do that. The benefit of having a policy with me is that I can convert your term to a whole life policy. Or remember that thing I've been talking to the clients about them leaving a legacy for their kids? You can tell
Uh-huh.
to your kids or tell your kids, "Hey, here is a policy that you can take. You can take a chunk of this, let's say 25,000, or you're going to take 50,000 or pay the full $100,000 benefit." What are
Mhm.
we going to do? We're going to do what is best for you and whatever you can. Remember, as a client of mine, I tell them, "Look, you no longer need an exam, blood or urine. You're already inside the policy. Let's go ahead and convert it." He said, "You know what? Let's do at least 25. And I'm going to go ahead and talk to my children and ask them what they think or what they can do to get a little bit of the benefit because it's only practical. The insurance is already there for the client, it's already been paid for. There's no contestability. They can take part of that
Mhm.
policy. And you know what? The day mom or dad passes away, I have something from them. Now, a lot of people tell me, "Well, Mr. Rubio, why didn't you offer this before?" I'm doing it now because this is when you need it. This is when we can
Mhm.
do it. And this is a benefit for all. Somebody just went ding on me. But here's the
Yeah.
I said, "Okay, we reviewed your policies." And then I said, "Ma'am," I looked right across the table next to his wife and I said, "Ma'am, do you have a life insurance? Because I see you don't have one with us." And the lady says, "Oh yes, Mr. Rubio, I have a $50,000 policy that I've been paying $18 for the last 10 years." Really? And how old are we? And of
Mhm.
course, I try not to ask that, but she's 68 years old, and she tells me, "Well, yeah, well, let me review your policy, because you know what? I'm gonna only show you what's on the paper." You know, and that's very
Yeah.
important because most agents they talk, but they don't tell you what's on the paper. What's important is what's on the policy itself, because that's what the company is going to
Mhm.
honor. So I took her policy, I reviewed it, and I said, "Ma'am, you know what? I'm sorry. I can't find the original application where they applied for the insurance. The only thing I find is the policy number and the 1-800 number to the company and a small little benefit that's telling me that you have $188, and the other one says it's an accident policy." And she said, "Mr. Rubio, what do I do?" I said, "Ma'am, there's no problem. We're going to call the company. they're going to ask for some information. They're going to ask your name, your social security number, your address. You just say yes. And of course, I'm going to say, hey, you know what? I'm your agent that's helping out. And we just want to know what she has because, when something happens, people think,
Yeah.
oh, a big policy. And she kept telling me, no, Mr. Rubio, it's a $50,000 policy. I said, ma'am, I can't see that on this. I don't see the
On the paper.
I see 50,000 accidental, but I don't see
Wow.
50,000 of life insurance because the price and your age don't coincide. Just take this for example.
Yeah.
Your husband had a $100,000 policy for the last 10 years, which was paying $59. That sounds reasonable. So let's go ahead and call the company. So it took a while. We talked to the company. I said, hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. This is Miss and Miss. We're trying to figure out what exactly she has. And of course, she asked the lady the questions that she needed to ask. And she said, ma'am, do you give me permission to talk to this man? He said, yes, because we want to make sure that we know what exactly we have. Sure enough, took a little bit of time because the lady told me that she hadn't seen one of these policies in a long time. I said, well, it is a life insurance policy. It's got a $188 benefit. And I look at the lady and I look at the husband. I said, ma'am, with all the respect, what are you going to do with $188? That's not even enough to buy the flowers.
Yeah.
And the lady said,
wow.
yeah, you're right. But she has a 50,000 accidental death. But if she were to die in a common carrier, we would pay $110,000. So I said, ma'am, let me just ask the question. Ma'am, how many times do you get on the bus? Never. How many times do you fly in an airplane? Never. How many times do you get into a taxi? Well, never, Mr. Rubio. Okay, so that option's out. Oh, but I see that there's an option that it's $75,000 in case she drives a motorcycle. And I told her, ma'am, how many do you drive a motorcycle?
Yeah.
I don't even. Well, what can I do?
Yeah.
There's nothing we can do. And of course, at that moment, the lady felt ashamed. She felt real bad because they had taken advantage of her. And I said, ma'am, with all the respect, that is why there are people like me that are here to do a policy review to show you exactly what you have. And you know what? I'm going to ask you the following questions. That way I can help you get a good policy. Do you have diabetes? Well, yes. Are you insulin dependent? No, I'm not. Oh, okay. Do you have high blood pressure? Yes, I do, but it's controlled. Okay. Do you have, by any chance, anything else? Well, yes, I have cholesterol. I said, well, being here in the Valley, I understand all these taquitos, they taste fantastic. But you know what? That's still not a problem. So I figured out a $5,000 policy. In case she passed away, we were going to pay $10,000 in an accident. Then I figured a $10,000 policy for the lady. And if it's in an accident, we're going to pay $20,000 plus the benefit that I tell her, look, man, in the event that you became disabled due to an accident and illness and you're placed in a nursing home, the policy's paid up for the rest of your life and your family doesn't need to worry about this. They don't have to worry.
Yeah.
Her husband turns around and tells me, Mr. Rubio, I will take care of my wife if something happens. I said, sir, with all due respect, what if something happens to you first and then her? We do not know. Today is not guaranteed. There are only two things that are guaranteed, right, Richard?
Yep.
And what are those?
Taxes and death.
Oh, yeah. That's the only thing that's guaranteed in this life. So I told him, look, I have a solution. I'm sorry that somebody took advantage of you. I'm here to help you out.
Yeah.
So I run across these things quite frequently because when I go back and visit you, the first thing I say, you know what? I have the policy service sheet and I'm going to do a policy review on you so we can refresh our memories of what exactly we have and who's on the policy and who's not on the policy, who is still covered under child rider, who is not covered no longer under child rider. And you know what? A lot of people are very appreciative that, I am trying to do a benefit for the client. So even though this was a very hard thing for the family, there is still a solution. And of course, we're trying to help them out. I'm trying to help them out to the best of my abilities. Yes, sir.
It's pretty interesting. Just want to welcome everyone that's here on the show today. You're watching Ruben Rubio TX live, and you can find us across Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Twitch at RubenRubioTX. If you have any questions, make sure you go to our website at RubenRubioTX.com. You can submit your questions there to be answered on a live stream. Or if you want to set up an appointment with Ruben Rubio, you can set up an appointment and he'll give you a call back to help you through this. And today's topic, we're talking about policy review. Important to know that what it is you have as time goes by and changes that happen. I guess one question I would have is like, let's say your health improves. Like I know the last show we're talking about people that had cancer, if it was in remission for so many years, if stuff like that happens, would there be ability to make changes to the current policy?
Yes, there is. Actually, I've had several clients that used to be smokers and they quit smoking. If you quit smoking after a year, we have to submit an exam. Of course, the company pays for it. And they go check. And if they find that there's no longer nicotine, because you got to remember, one cigarette will last a year in your body. So if you smoked, let's say 6 months ago, hey, you're still considered a smoker. But once you find out that, hey, you know what? He is no longer considered a smoker, we will lower the premium to a standard policy instead of a smoker policy. The question was, hey, what if I had cancer? What if I no longer have the cancer, but when I purchased it, I was sick or I had an ailment? Hey, if your health improved, we will order an exam. They'll review the policy again. And then if they find it adjustable, they will go ahead and reduce the table settings on your policy. Let me explain to you what a table setting is. If you're sick, well, let's start with the standard. Standard is that your regular health, okay?
Okay.
Substandard is that you're level 1. Hey, I'm sick, but I have this. Okay. Level 2 is that you're a little bit more sicker. Level 3 is you have an ailment that's stronger. Level 4 is something strong. They go by categories of what type of ailments you have. But like Richard asked, hey, you know what? When I originally bought this policy several years ago, I had this. Now I no longer have it. Can we lower my premium? Yes, we can. But that all depends on how your health has improved. And a lot of people have improved their health. Like I said, I have several clients that used to be smokers, but they no longer smoke. And many people say, well, what's a smoker? I don't smoke, Mr. Rubio. I just chew tobacco. It's the same thing. It's the same thing. Unfortunately, we have found that right now, like a lot of people that are vaping, it's actually more dangerous than smoking. So, let's try to avoid these things because it's to your benefit. It's to your health. I tell people, I don't know how to tell you this in a nice way, but every time you smoke a cigarette or a cigar, that's one day less in your life because that consumes your body as it's going along. And like I said, when I go to a house and I do the policy review, things like that come out. Hey, Mr. Rubio, you know what? I quit smoking about 6 months ago. Let's give it another 6 months and then we can do the change. And that's the way that, the way things are done. It's just a practical thing. And like I said, when we do the policy review, we check out things and then we talk about, hey, do you still owe the house? How much do you owe on the house? Do you have other debts? Do you have kids going to college? Do you have kids that you want them to go to college? And then some people, of course, unfortunately, tell me my son is an educated bum, Mr. Rubio. He doesn't want to work. I cannot help you there. For more I can do, I can't help him there, okay? But
Yeah.
this is part of life, you know. In Mexico, they're called los nenes ni trabajan
Uh,
ni estudian. Okay, that's a Mexican phrase. So
uh,
we have some of those here in South Texas or different parts of our country. Yeah, Richard.
yeah. Okay. Well, just want to say hi to Mauricio out there on YouTube. Thanks for watching us. We're talking about policy reviews, and just wondering, how often would you recommend to do a policy review? Every
Well,
year, every couple years,
every at
or
least
how?
every 2 years. At least every 2 years, because like I said, we don't remember everything. And people call me and say, "Hey, Mr. Ruby, I'm so and so." Let me remember who you are, because I'm not gonna remember. But you know what? When I have a client, I have a file on you, and I write down as much information as I can remember, because what? I'm not gonna remember. I see so many people. It's like
Yeah.
when I go to HEB, when I used to work as
Uh-huh.
a debit agent, and this is real funny. I'd walk down the
Uh-huh.
aisles, and all of a sudden I see people's backs. Like those people were coming towards me, and they see me, and they turn around, and they take off. And of course, sometimes I meet them there at the checkout stand, and I said, "Hey, let me just tell you, while I'm at HEB, I'm not your agent. I'm not gonna collect. Okay, don't worry about that. I'll go bother
Yeah.
you at home, but not here."
Yeah.
And people laugh, and of course that I'm not gonna bother you. I'm just gonna do what my job is, just to help you out.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you can do a policy review every 2 or 3 years, you know, whatever's best for you, or like I've mentioned in the past, you know, some people recently purchased a house. I've got other people that, hey, you know what? I'm getting out of the house payment. What do you suggest? Well, I have a sheet where I go and sit down and I say, look, this is a breakdown sheet where you can put, I'm going to separate so much money for my wife the day I pass away, so much money for the education of my children, so much money for you know, this and that debt, you know, because let's be very honest. Everybody's up to their wazoo with debts. Unfortunately, this nation
Yeah.
now lives on credit. And what's the best thing to have is a life insurance policy. Why? Because the life insurance policy becomes an immediate estate. You know, you
Oh,
have
okay.
a nice chunk of money. That's why I tell young people, hey, you're going to college? Hey, get a $250,000 policy. We really don't need much of an exam. If you're good and helping, you're getting an education, that should help you start off in life. And what do? The next thing you know, they're trying to get married, they want to buy a house. Hey, the life insurance that you purchased when you were younger,
Mhm.
you can use that as collateral on that loan. Why? Because if something were to happen to you, that's going to pay off the house. Hopefully, the house is not more than $250,000, you know, but
Yeah.
that will be enough to pay for a lot of debts. You know, and I tell people in all practicality, Richard, with all due respect, but you know, $100,000 is nothing nowadays.
Yeah.
$200,000 is really nothing. $250,000, it'll help out, but it's not like it used to be. You know, the dollar
Yeah.
had more value, the dollar had more strength. You know, I remember, hey, I used to go to the store. Candies were like four for $1. They don't cost
Yeah.
that anymore. They practically cost
Mhm.
$1 each one. So
Yeah.
that's the way it is. Life keeps going. The cost of inflation keeps going up, and we just have to be prepared. And like I've mentioned in the past, this is for your benefit. This is for your family, for the love that you have towards them. You know, I have a policy for myself. I have an accident policy for myself because I'm always on the road. And if something happens, my wife will, you know, she'll have some money, because that's who I'm
Yeah.
thinking about. My wife and my kids. One of them, he went through college. He graduated as an industrial engineer. He works. You know, he's not working where he wanted to, but he's still making money. And the next one, I'm putting him to college. And of course, if I tell
Yeah.
him if he doesn't go through college, I'll just put him through the wall. You know, that's simple as that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I guess one more question, I guess would have is, so then would you recommend, like, if there's a major life change, like a marriage, another child, or someone graduates, or like you were mentioning, buying a house, would be a good time to do a policy review around those types of changes?
Yes, it is. It is an excellent, excellent question. Why? Because now, as we're going into life, we are going into this process of getting into debt, buying a house, being married, having children. Everything in this world costs money. And you want to leave
Yes.
something behind to help out the family in case of your demise. Today I spoke to several people. I said hello, and I have several people that I saw that are in the army, and they told me, Mr. Rubio, what do you think? I said, well, you should have your benefits there, but before you went in, you should have a separate policy just in case. You never know. I don't want
Yeah.
anything to happen to you, but you know what? You always want to be ready. So it is always a good idea while you're still healthy, while you're still in good shape. You need to purchase a policy now, because tomorrow we don't know what's going to happen. What's life going to deal with you? Because like
Yeah.
I've been hearing on the news, they've been talking about, right now, unfortunately, we're going through the COVID-19 process. Some people are taking these shots and they're getting sick. Some people are can still get COVID-19 even if they're inoculated. So why risk a major health change? I've known athletes, I've known people that were super excellent health. They're not
Yeah.
anymore. They got the cold, they got the virus, and it changed their life forever. And like I was talking to one of my friends. He said, Mr. Rubio, I can't walk like I used to. I can't work like I used to because I get tired. And I said, well, I'm sorry. But it's a good thing that you made decisions, well educated decisions, because now we're at this point. And the reason I'm saying this, Richard, is because some of these people that
Mhm.
I've talked to, they're my
Yeah.
clients. And on their policies, I went ahead and wrote a disability rider. They are
Yeah.
incapable of full-fledged regular job now. Guess what? Mr. Rubio was there to do the right thing, the proper thing, and ensure them the right way. And now they don't have to worry about anything. Hey, if I pass away, my life insurance, I don't have to pay for it. It's paid up till the day I go to be with the Lord. Others say, you know what? This is the 50, the $100 bill that I'm paying every month. I don't have it anymore. I have peace of mind. And that is
Mm.
so important to have, guys. Peace of
Yeah.
mind. This is not a cultural shock, it's just a necessity of life. Mhm.
Yeah. Well, I think that was a pretty good talk about the importance of having a policy review. Just a reminder to everyone that you're watching Ruben Rubio TX live across Facebook, Twitch, and YouTube. And make sure you follow us, you subscribe on our various channels. If you have any questions, you can visit our website at RubenRubioTX.com. You can submit your questions, and we'll be more than glad to answer them on one of our live streams. Or if you prefer to keep it more personal, you can also make that choice. If you happen to have questions where you want to talk one-on-one with Ruben Rubio TX, visit our website and there's a form down there. Let us know when's the best time to contact you, best number to reach you at, and Ruben Rubio would be more than glad to help you and assist you in finding the right policies to help you. And even if you need help reviewing what you have and maybe understand it more as time has gone by, he'll be more than glad to help you in your journey. So we just want to thank you for watching us. We're here Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time, and soon we'll try to be up more times, but for now you can find us Tuesdays at 3 o'clock Central Standard Time. Would you like to say anything else and close us out, Ruben?
Yeah, I just want to finish with the following statement that I mentioned to the lady that I saw yesterday. I said, ma'am, we're still in time to help you out. We're still here, ready to give you the proper solution to your problem. because that's the one thing that's very important, having that peace of mind, but also knowing that, hey, there's somebody out here that cares for you and is going to do something to help them out. This is going to cost you a little bit more, but you know what? In the long run, your family is going to thank you. And that's pretty much it, Richard.
All right, well, thank you, everyone, and we'll see you next time. You're watching RubenRubioTX.com. Have a great week.
Thank you. Bye.
Hello, my name is Ruben Rubio. Help support my channel by visiting my website, RubenRubioTX.com, on your phone, tablet, or PC. For Facebook, go to the menu and click on the Facebook logo. On my Facebook page, click like and follow. For Instagram, go to the menu and click on the Instagram logo. On my Instagram profile, click follow. For YouTube, go to the menu and click on the YouTube logo. On my YouTube page, click subscribe and ring the bell for all notifications. For Twitch, go to the menu and click on the Twitch logo. On my Twitch page, click the heart to follow. If you have questions you'd like answered on one of our live streams or YouTube videos, go to the menu and click on Ask a Question. Fill out all the details in the form and click Submit. You can choose to be anonymous or have your first name mentioned on the video. If you'd like to schedule a phone appointment, go to the menu and click Schedule Phone Appointment. Fill out all the details and when the best time to reach you, and we will get back to you at our earliest time available. Hola, mi nombre es Rubén Rubio. Para apoyar mi canal, visite mi sitio de web RubenRubioTX.com en tu teléfono, tableta o computadora. Para Facebook, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Facebook. En mi página de Facebook, haga clic en like y siga. Para Instagram, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logo de Instagram. En mi perfil de Instagram, haga clic en seguir. Para YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de YouTube. En mi página de YouTube, haga clic en suscríbase y haga sonar la campana para todas las notificaciones. Para Twitch, vaya al menú y haga clic en el logotipo de Twitch. En mi página de Twitch, haga clic en el corazón para seguir. Si tienes preguntas que le gustaría responder en alguno de nuestros live streams o videos de YouTube, vaya al menú y haga clic en Ask a Question, llene todos los detalles del formulario y haga clic en Enviar. Puede elegir ser anónimo o que su primer nombre se mencione en el video. Si desea programar una cita por teléfono, vaya al menú y haga clic en Schedule Phone Appointment. Llene todos los detalles y cuando es el mejor momento para llegar a usted y nos encontraremos en nuestro momento más temprano disponible. Hello.